audience tonight don't know we're watching them, but there are surprises in store for some of them. For those who thought last week's whodunit was easy to solve. For Beverly, who saw her father as a child but didn't realize who he was. And for Ina, who is to meet her long-lost brother thanks to the spirit of Glasnost. For these people and more, it's Surprise, Surprise! Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Cilla Black.
Surprise, surprise. Well, they say all good things must come to an end, and surprise, surprise is no exception. Tonight, wait for it. Tonight is the last show. A shame, but worry not, because we will be back. We'll be back. Oh, you're as daft as I am, you know. Well, we will be back next year, but right now, let's get on with the show. And a year ago, I did a Cillagram up there in Holyhead. Or is it Holyhead? And this is how it started. Hello, Holyhead! Oh, isn't that lovely? Hello, Bernard.
Hello, Cilla.
Hello.
Welcome
what a lovely welcome. Thank you very much. I haven't brought the weather with me, though, have I?
These people are absolutely fantastic.
Now, where's this young man, Jeff Evans, who wrote to me?
Jeff Evans.
Hello, Jeff. Oh, yes, well, that fella who was bouncing up and down is Jeffrey Evans. And Jeff has written me a letter. He said he was dead chuffed to have been on the telly, but it was only then, when he saw how big his tummy was, he felt he had to do something about it. And his wife and all his friends started calling him Fatty. Isn't that awful? Oh, I know the feeling well. Well, we've got a photo of Jeff and his tum to show you how big he was. And I must warn you that if any of you are very sensitive, this photo could give you a bit of a shock. Have a look at it. Well, talk about letting it all hang out. Anyway, Jeff was determined to do something about it, and he did. As he says in his letter and the poem he wrote, this is a fat rap. I was 8 weeks slimming and I lost 4 stones. Now I'm fit as a fiddle. Let's fat on my bones. Hey girls, have a look at this. He sent us the latest photo. Look at this. So you see, surprise, surprise, reaches parts other slimming cures can't reach. Our Jumbo Jeff is now ginormous no longer. And I have to say a special message. If you're watching, Jeff, keep up the good slimming, all right? You look ever so sexy. Well, surprise, surprise is now going coast to coast. From Holyhead on the west coast to Yarmouth on the east coast. Now, sitting in our audience tonight, we've got a lovely couple of people from Yarmouth. Now, yes, will you come down and join me, please? Beverly and Terry Thompson. Come and join us, please. Surprise, surprise. Now, this is a surprise for you, Aunt Beverly, isn't it?
He won some tickets at Birdseye in a raffle to come here.
Oh, did he? I wish you hadn't said that. Mind you. No, it wasn't Birdseye. You'll get free peas for the rest of the year. No, that was all a ruse just to get you here. No, because your Terry wrote me a lovely letter telling me all about you, didn't you, Artel? Yep. Yes, he told me that when you were just 6 weeks old, you were put up for fostering. Do you remember your foster parents? Of course you do. They were Fred and Dorothy Ennis. Now, that was against your father's wishes, your real father's wishes at the time, but he couldn't do anything about it. But Fred and Dorothy brought you up as one of their own. Yes, but you never ever forgotten your real father, did you? And sadly, poor Fred died, and that's when you went looking for your natural father, didn't you? But little did you know that you'd already seen him, because when you were about 10 years old round your way, your father used to be a council worker. Yes, and neither of you knew that, did you?
No.
Well, then you met up and married with our Terry here, and that's when Terry took up the search for your dad, and he did a marvellous job. He discovered that your dad was living down there in Australia. Well, Beverly, he's not there tonight. He's flown all the way over just to be with you. Here he is, all the way from Bridgetown in Western Australia is your dad. Come in, David. Say hello to him, Beverly. Oh, isn't it lovely? I think it's a marvellous reunion. And I know you're over for 6 weeks. Enjoy every moment of it, David.
This week I'm clowning around at King's Cross Station, waiting to surprise Jack Dunford as he gets off a train from Wakefield. Jack thinks he's coming to see a circus, but thanks to his daughter Deborah, we found out that Jack actually used to dress up as a clown and ride a unicycle. She'd love to see him perform again, and so would we. Be a clown, be a clown. Oh! Here's the train, quick. Jack! Jack Dunford, hello, surprise, surprise, how are you?
All right, thanks.
You thought you were coming to see a circus, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Well, you're not. Well, you're not coming to see a circus, you're in a circus. You're going to
You're
perform.
joking.
No, you're going to perform in one. But we're not going to let you perform alone.
No.
Because you've got a couple of assistants to help you in this performance. That's your Julie and Tracy. They're behind you right now. You didn't expect to see them. Another
No.
little surprise for you. It was your Deborah that told you us all about you and your unicycling antics. Right? This
Yeah.
nose is hurting me, by the way.
Yeah.
And she said she'd love to see you all perform. Right? How do you
Yeah.
feel about that? Good?
All right, thanks.
Okie dokie. Well, the call of the circus ring beckons. So better rush off then. I'm no good standing about here.
All right.
All right, we'll go and get your grease paint on. Go on then, Jack.
go.
Hello, Deborah. Right.
Well, we'll be back soon to see our Jack in action. Now, all through this series, we've been watching people surprise themselves, learning to do all sorts of things they never thought they'd manage. Now, a few weeks ago on this very show, I surprised a Mrs. Sylvia Napper. Sylvia works in an old people's home, and I made her an offer she could not refuse. Have a look at this. A hairdo makes wonders, doesn't it, girls? Yes. And just think, if you could do all those lovely ladies. Have you ever done any hairdressing, Sylvia? None at all?
None at all.
Well, surprise, surprise, you're going to. Yes, because those ladies love you so much, and I know you do an awful lot for them. We thought nothing could be more than best for our Sylvia, and we have got the best. Yes, we're sending you on a course, actually, Sylvia. On a Vidal Sassoon course. Yes, and it's going to take a few weeks, about maybe 5, maybe 6 weeks, and you're going to have a very special person supervising, teaching all the bit. In fact, he's the top man in Vidal Sassoon. He's known as the creative director. His name is Mark Hayes, and he's right here tonight. I want you to meet him. Come in, Mark. Say hello to us. Say hello to us, Sylvia. Now, she's shaking, Mark. She is absolutely shaking. How do you think our Sylvia would do? Because she says you've had no experience at all.
I worked in a hairdresser's.
You've worked in it, what, brushing up the earth?
And sweeping up and...
Sweeping up? And
Well,
at
we've
a
all
reception.
done that. We've all done that.
To start from the bottom.
Yes, but she's not going to be sweeping up there or being
Oh,
a
no, no, no.
receptionist, is she,
No,
Mark?
not at
Tell
all,
us a
no.
bit about it.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to take you on a 5-week intensive course at the school in London. And it's the same course that we base all the training of our own staff on. And we'll be working on all the classic techniques that Vidal Sassoon employ on their clients and students in the schools worldwide. And you'll be working with 2 of the art directors who are actually in charge of the school for 5 weeks of sheer hard work.
Well, Mark took Sylvia off and gave her a crash course in cutting and curling. And here's how she got on.
Cut that out. Just that hairline to lay flat, and then you can start to lift the occipital bone.
So on Wednesday this morning, again, we're going to be working with a lot of versatility, but really trying to expand the shape within a haircut.
How's she doing, Pam? Well?
Very well. She actually she's picked it up extraordinary well, I would say. She's got a real natural flair for it, and coupled with her enthusiasm, she's been a pleasure to teach, hasn't you, Sylvia?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
How's it going, Sylvia? All right?
Yes, fine, thanks.
Is it nice to be back with your young ladies?
It is, yes.
And they're looking a treat, aren't they?
Yeah,
These
they are.
hairstyles
They
are
look
coming on
great.
wonderful. Everything all right?
She's wonderful.
There's your magazine, Joan.
Thank you very much.
Are you going out bopping tonight now you've had your hair done?
Yes, I need to.
Sylvia, the new look. You look absolutely transformed. Your hair is gorgeous. Did you cut it yourself?
No.
No.
Sarah did it for me.
Sarah, the stylist, did it.
Yes.
Did you enjoy your course?
Very much. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's an experience.
It really was. It looked absolutely fantastic. I would have liked to have done one of those courses myself.
Fantastic.
Well, as you know, Sylvia, surprise, surprise, had to pay for your course for Vidal Sassoon. Yes, they did, but good old Vidal Sassoon, he said, oh, we're not having any of that. And they've actually made that donation to the Croft Home.
Lovely.
Just for
Great.
you.
Oh, it's
yeah.
very nice. Oh, they're lovely people. They really are. They're fantastic.
So with that money, Sylvia, you'll be able to buy washstands, hair dryers,
Oh,
and everything to
everything.
do all the girls' hair.
Oh, it's
and the
marvellous.
fellas as well. Isn't that lovely?
It's lovely.
Well, it's our congratulations to
Thank
you.
you.
You've done ever so well. Thanks a lot, Sylvia.
Thank you.
Well, now from her cutting to her raising. Remember last week in our Who Done It? The great Andolini became the late Andolini. Or did he? Our tale of mystery and murder was staged for the benefit of Valerie Eccles, who reckons that she can solve any Who Done It. Well, I have Valerie Eccles' solution here in this envelope. And while I read it and find out if she has cracked it, here for the benefit of all you amateur detectives is my old friend Shaw Taylor to reconstruct the crime and show you who really done it.
Oh, you've set a real teaser there, Cilla. But if the viewers have been keeping them peeled, they might have spotted all the clues. Let's go back to the beginning and reconstruct what happened. The death of this unfortunate man, Andolini, was intended to look like suicide, which is a tragedy, but it's not a crime. But who commits suicide when he's already booked 2 tickets worth £3,000 for the holiday of a lifetime, and when he and his wife were about to receive an inheritance? Now then, what about this wife? Andolini told Cilla he was single.
I mean, have you got any wife or, you know, children you'd like to say goodbye to now?
No, not at the moment.
So why did the dead man have a photograph and a letter, both mentioning his wife? Incidentally, did you notice the signature on the suicide note was different from that on the photograph? That was no suicide. It was murder. But of who? Andolini couldn't have escaped from a box with no trap door and appeared in the audience in less than 20 seconds, however good a magician he is. A witness said a man entered the room just as the knives were going in. But that man was David Mason, who'd been on the outside broadcast earlier, and he's completely innocent. I suggest the dead man was not the great Andolini. Did you notice that the lipstick trace Cilla left was on the wrong cheek? He certainly looked like Andolini. An identical twin, maybe? Remember, the solicitor's letter said, "You have always been the favourite." But how did the twin get into the audience? The answer, of course, is he was there all the time. This was Giorgio Andolini, the man who stood to inherit the money. But then, who killed him? And why? The twin brother, Roberto, stood to gain the most. He had the motive, but he was in the box. So he must have had an accomplice. If so, who? Well, Giorgio's wife had to turn up with him to claim the inheritance. And who could have got Giorgio to the studio without suspicion but his lovely wife? Now, let's look at what happened in that audience. This is how Giorgio Andolini died.
Oh, dear, come on, you signal that first. There's the old there. It's going in now, Andolini. What? Wait, quicker, open. Oh, gosh, oh, my goodness me, open the...
The perfect crime. Roberto Andolini, a single man, is seen to commit suicide.
I'm coming.
Only it was Giorgio who died, was murdered, so that his wife and her lover, his twin brother Roberto, could claim his inheritance and leave for Acapulco. There you are. Obvious, wasn't it? But I wonder how many viewers solved the crime. Even more important, how did Valerie make out? Well, you've got the envelope, Cilla.
Oh, Valerie, she's done it. It was in the envelope. Yes, she had it first time. Monica Petrie, well done, Valerie. And we've got another little surprise for you. You're looking very worried. Don't worry. This is quite nice. It's your very own Sherlock Holmes kit. Yes. There's the deer stalker. With your magnifying glass. Oh, yes, don't you look smashing? You're going to get... Yes, have a hat, have a good one. And there's the pipe. You will have to provide your own violin, though.
Oh, I can't play that.
You can't play that? Well, thank God there's something you can't do. You've solved every crime ever since. Well done, love.
Thank you very much.
Well, now, talking of dressing up, I had a letter the other day about two lovely ladies, Peggy Shaw and May Balfour, who do just that, among other things, to raise money for charity. Now, they've helped to send a little brain-damaged boy for special treatment, and they've raised cash for the local hospital for children in need, and the list, I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen, goes on and on. Well, the letter came from Mandy Weir, who works with our Peggy and May at the Morn Clothing Company in Larne, Northern Ireland. And that's where I went to surprise them last week. Peggy! Peggy! May! Oh, come on, May. Come on, it is May, isn't it? Come on, May, get up there, girl. And you're not getting out of it, come on, you. Oh, surprise, surprise, girls. Now, come here, girl. I've got a little bit of chat to say to you. I have, because, oh, you two girls, aren't you? So, do you want what? Do you want perhaps? Oh, I heard about you went to your daughter's wedding. How did it go, Chuck? Lovely. Where's the hat? the hat. Oh, get the hat on. Come on, get it. Yes, isn't that what? Mandy Weir wrote and told me all about it. Right, oh, Mandy, come here, Mandy. Now, Mandy, you wrote this lovely letter telling me all about these girls, didn't you, Chuck? Yes, I did. Yes. And Mandy told me that you do an awful lot of work for charity. Stop laughing at me with this. They said that you make all these silly costumes and raise all this money for charity. Is that right? Well, because of Mandy's letter, I'm here to sing you a Cillagram. Now, who's the one that's madly, passionately in love with Cliff Richard? Well, May and Peggy, guess where we're going? As you're such Cliff Richard fans, especially you.
I like them too.
We are going out in the country. That's one of Cliff's favourite songs. It's mine too. Is it yours?
Yes.
Okay, girls, come on, let's go. When the world in which you live in gets a bit too much to bear, and you need someone to lean on, when you look there's no one there, you're gonna find me out in the country. You're gonna find me way out in the country, where the air is good and the day is fine, and these lovely girls are friends of mine. The silver screen is a warm and wide in the country, in the country. When you're walking in the city and you're feeling rather small, and the people on the sidewalk seem to form a solid wall, you're gonna find me out in the country. You're gonna find me way out in the country. Ooh, hurry, 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 for the time is slipping by. You don't need a ticket, it belongs to you and I. So come on and join me way out in the country, where the air is good and the day is fine, and these lovely girls are friends of mine. The silver stream is a palm and wide in the country, in the country. Ba 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 ba. We'll take a break now, but we'll be back in a mo for a visit to the circus and a surprise for somebody sitting right here in our audience. So, see you in a couple of minutes. Hello and welcome back. And before we do anything else, let's go back to Jerry Cottle's circus, because the ringmaster is announcing the clowns.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Cottle's Circus proudly presents for your entertainment the Car Lorry Company and the Cycling Dunfords.
You can't do that! You can't do that to him! Oh! Jack, I'm sorry. We got the ladder now, hold the steps, hold the steps. Right off, you got the ladder. We got it. Jack, I'm ever so sorry, what can I say? But he wasn't very cold. Jack, I'm sorry, mate, that's terrible. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. But you see, that's one of the things about the circus. You can never Oh, I'm sorry, you're covering all that rubbish. No, that's me friend, Sit down, have a cup of tea, can't you? Be fine after a cup of tea. Now, in the circus, they make lovely tea. They do make smashing tea, it's ever so nice. Let's see, oh, I've got the big mug, right? Got the little mug. Lovely, thank you very much. Oh, that's smashing. Oh, it's nice tea. Oh, you'll enjoy this, Jack. It really is nice. I think one of the important things about... I'm all nice and dry. No, I'm all lovely and dry. I can't help it. No, one of the important things. You see, but that featuring Bob Carroll G's and Jack Dunford. Thank you. Come on, girls. Take him out. Yeah. That was super.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's one big circus for our Bob, but right now let's go over to our daring young man on the search line. Yes, it's Gordon Burns.
Not a safety net in sight. But straight away, news that the police have been after me. But I ain't done nothing, honest, Gov. But Dave Atwell from the Hampshire Constabulary believes that we can help him track down a certain Peter Lowther Clements. Now, he has done something, but it's something to be proud of. In November 1987, Peter rescued a drowning man from the sea when the man's boat was struck by a hydrofoil as it entered Cowes Harbour on the Isle of Wight. Peter was on board the hydrofoil and dived into the water, supporting the man until he could be brought on board. Later, in May 1988, the Royal Humane Society tried to contact Peter, but discovered that he'd left his old address in Southampton. Now, they want to present a bravery award to him, but just can't find him anywhere. So they asked the Hampshire Constabulary to help. They, in turn, contacted us, and we're now asking you. If anyone knows where Peter Clements has moved to, then please ring us. We'd love him to get that richly deserved bravery award. Now, take a look at these. Not mine, you understand, nor even hers.
Oh, your secret is safe with me now.
Plenty of ventilation there. They are, in fact, sailors. They've been sent to us by Stanley Patrick from Kettering. In 1940, during the evacuation of Dunkirk, Stanley was on board HMS Wakefield when it was torpedoed, and Stanley was pulled out of the water dripping wet and taken on board HMS Calcutta, where a kindly sailor loaned him his shorts to wear. Now, the name inside the waistband, if you can see it here, is either CS or GS Young. So if Mr. Young is watching and would like his old shorts back, then ring Searchline. We've got them here. We'll send them to you. And next, here's another sea saga. This is a photograph of Luke Walsh when he served as a machine gunner on this motor torpedo boat, number 449, they didn't have names, in the 35th Flotilla based at Felixstowe in 1945. He's looking for his old skipper, Lieutenant Harry Ashby from Derby, and also Sub-Lieutenant Barlow from Blackpool. Luke would like to find them so that he can hand over the ship's white ensign, which he has kept all these years, ever since it sort of fell into his kit bag. So if either of them are watching, then give us a call. Now, here's our first personal appeal.
My name is Jason Green. I'm looking for my nan's sister, Vera Eileen Stannard. My nan's name is Sheila May Stannard. She last see Vera in Chinkford, 1953. So if you know Vera, can you please contact the Searchline?
Please ring us on 01 222 8070. I shall be back later on with more Searchline items and also with the latest on who we've found since last week. But right now, we're going back to Cilla, who I know is off on holiday tomorrow. You might like to take these with you.
I think we're up more Bobby Street, don't you think? We shall see you later, Gordon. All right.
Yes,
Thanks a lot. Well, you know, we've been so busy on this series, dashing up and down the country. There were times when I didn't know whether I was on foot or horseback. And the things our Bob got up to. Well, just have a look at this. Jim Preston is an American airman serving in this country, and his wife Becky wrote and told us that she wanted him to do something typically English.
You're set for your day in the English countryside? Well, we're actually in the village of Chatmore, here in Buckinghamshire. And to look at you, Jim, I mean, you're in the pink, I've had a drink. Now, it's time to meet your mount, I think. So I'll put that down, and I'll get your trusty steed out. Down, boy, down. Oh, stop it, behave. Down, down. You're going to have a really good time, because she's a very good horse, and very sturdy, and that's yours for the day.
These members of the Chatmore Chase have raised hundreds of thousands of pounds for children's charities with their annual hunt. Sweet little furry thing, our Bob, isn't he? Anyway, Easter's a little early this year, and that's all because of a letter we received from 4 9-year-old girls up there at Cams Lane County Primary School in Radcliffe near Manchester. Now, they wrote in about their teacher, Mrs. Morris, so our Bob surprised her during assembly.
Come here. Morning. Sorry about the intrusion, Mrs. Carter. Hello. Morning, children. I'll probably get a million lines for this, I will, and detention. I'm looking for Mrs. Morris. Which is Mrs. Morris? Mrs. Morris, surprise. Shift up, room for a little one. Surprise, surprise. Quiet, please. I know all about you, Mrs. Morris. When you were at school, you were a bit of a singing star, weren't you? In fact, you sang a song called The Angels Rolled the Stone Away. And you even made a record of it, didn't you? Made a record and everything. Sit. And where's Stephanie? Come up here, Stephanie Barr. Come here, Stephanie. Up here, that's it. Come here, Stephanie. Isn't she lovely? Come and stand here next to me. Now, Stephanie, do you know what we're going to do? You wrote this letter, didn't you?
Yes.
And because you thought Mrs. Morris was such a lovely teacher.
Yes.
And to thank her very much. You got a lot to say, haven't you, Stephanie? Well, do you know what we're going to do today?
No.
We are going to make a record specially for Mrs. Morris. We are going to reissue The Angel Rolled the Stone Away.
that?
Yes, it was wonderful.
Oh, I did. Oh, I could eat that little blonde boy there. He was lovely. What was his name?
Andrew Marshall.
Oh, Andrew. I love your Andrew. Oh, I do. Now, we said we'd make a record of that, didn't we, Christine?
Yes.
Yes, and we always stick by our word on surprise, surprise. And we've done just that, but not just one record. We have pressed 500 of them, yes, for every pupil in your school. Can you bring the records on, please? Here they are. And that's super. That lovely cover, The Angel Rolled the Stone Away. Mind you, do you remember when you first recorded this in 1977?
Well, yeah.
You're going to be reminded again. Everybody does this to me all the time. Now it's your go. Have a listen to this little snippet.
The angel rolled the stone away. The angel rolled the stone away. It was on Easter Sunday.
Did it bring back lovely memories for you?
Yeah.
Now, do you recognise any of the voices on that record? Any of your school chums you used to sing with? Yes. Well, maybe you might recognise the faces, because surprise, surprise, some of them were here. Oh, there they are. Look, even your old choir. Look at that. It's all giggly girls again, isn't it? They'll be going behind the bike sheds later. And while Christine and her pals catch up on the past, we're going to catch up on our breath and we're going to take a break. But we will be back in a couple of minutes with lots more surprises. So I'll see you then. Welcome back. Now, last week I phoned Paul Williams, who fancies himself as a bit of a warbler, and he would love to sing the part of the innkeeper in Les Miserables. So we invited him to come along and have a bash. And here he is. Come in, our Paul. It sounds as if you brought your fan club with you, lad.
Yes.
Yes. And you lied to me on the phone, didn't you? I mean, you said you were only 5'3". What happened? Have you fallen asleep in a grow bag in the last week, or what?
My wife said I've got to grow up.
You've got to grow up.
But I knew that flower power would come back.
Now, tell us about all this singing. You absolutely adore that musical, Les Miserables, don't you?
Oh, well, I mean, anyone who's seen it knows that it's absolutely superb.
And you have been practising with all your family and friends all week?
I have indeed, miss. Yes, miss.
Well, you're dressed for the part, lad. All I have to do now is to give you the big build-up. So if you take your position over there, I will do just that. Good luck. Surprise, Surprise presents an excerpt from the award-winning musical Les Miserables, starring Paul Williams and friends. Now, the orchestra is conducted by Alan Ainsworth, and there's a couple of famous faces in the chorus you may recognise, which Paul knows nothing about. And I won't tell you who they are, but I'll give you a clue. One is a real treasure, and the other is a poetic fellow with plenty of bread. So, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Paul Williams, the master of the house.
Oh, welcome, monsieur. Sit yourself down and meet the best innkeeper in town. As for the rest, all of them crooks, rooking the guests and cooking the books. Seldom do you see honest men like me, a gent, good intent, who's content. Going up the charm, ready with a hand to get it up with fun. Tells a saucy tale and makes a little stir. Customers appreciate the bold deserve. Glad to do me friends a favour. Doesn't cost me to be nice. Nothing gets your napping, everything has got a little price. And master of the house, keeper of the zoo, ready to relieve them of a suit or two. Water in the wine, making up the weight, picking up the knickknacks for the clods and stuff. Everybody good companion. Gonna bleed them in the end. Master of the house, get to catch your eye. Never once a fuss about a passing by. Servant to the poor, butler to the great. Comfort of philosopher and life complaint. Everybody's boon companion. Gives him everything he's got. Everybody raise a glass to the master of the house.
Paul, that you're absolutely marvellous, and I thought our two surprises were absolutely superb as well. Your special thanks, ladies and gentlemen, to Annika Rice and Jonathan Morris. Oh, they were wonderful as well. And now it's time to go over to our own famous face. It's our Gordon Burns.
Well, we've had a famous success rate in finding people through Searchline during this series, thanks, of course, to your marvellous response. And here's the latest, and indeed the last in this series of success bulletins. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, Shiraz Aswat made a personal appeal to find John Dawson, his old friend in Zambia. Well, we found John, who's now living in Barnsley. And last week, Eleonora Tarnowska was looking for Janina Kemper and Janina Bartosz, whom she last saw in 1940 when they were children in the Balashadi camp in India. We found both of them. We also found Margaret Beattie, several former members of the Ridge Rovers football team at Sutton Common, and finally, these were Mario Caballero's mates at Butland Skegness in 1955. Well, one of them, Charlie Neville, in the back row, top right, is now back in touch with Mario. And now take a look at this piece of film.
1, 2.
They were Cochrane's young ladies who trained under the great theatrical impresario C.B. Cochrane. And this is Greta Foster, who joined them in 1928 and appeared in such shows as Desert Song and Bittersweet in London and America. Greta left in 1939 to teach dancing and has lost touch with her old dancing friends, but she would very much like to hear from any of the young ladies. So if any of them are watching, please ring Searchline. We're now looking for Bernard Michael Higgins, known as Chip, from Salford in Lancashire. Bernard was last seen by his sister Catherine in 1970 when his ship, HMS Centurion, docked at Fishguard. Since then, Catherine has only heard from Bernard once in November 1979, and both she and the rest of the family would love to see him again, so if anyone knows where Bernard now is, please call us. Well, that's all from Searchline for this series. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who's responded to our appeals. It's thanks to all of you that we've been able to reunite so many people. And a very big thank you from me to the splendid Searchline research team who do such hard work to make so many reunions possible, and that includes many that you don't hear about. In the meantime, if you can help us with information on any of the people mentioned tonight, please ring us on 01 222 8070. Our researchers will be taking your calls from now until 10 o'clock tonight, and if you have requests for the next series, well, please write to us at Searchline, Surprise Surprise, London Weekend Television, South Bank TV Centre, London, SE 99 6YW. That's the lot from me. Goodbye to you, and back now to Cilla.
You know, parting is such sweet sorrow. Never mind. Well, now we've got a lovely story, a story that spans two great world powers. Where are you, Ina Weber? Surprise, surprise, Ina. Would you like to come and join me? Bring your son Bill and your daughter-in-law Jane with you. Jane. Have a sit down. Well, welcome to Surprise, Surprise. Now, Ina, would you like to tell everybody where you were born?
I was born in Finland, but I was brought up in Estonia.
Estonia. Now,
Yes.
Estonia is now part of the Soviet Union.
That's right.
Yes, well, I have to tell you, I got a lovely letter from your daughter-in-law, Jane, here. It's a marvellous story. Now, can you take your mind back to 50 years ago, when war just broke out? You were separated from your parents and your younger brother. In actual fact, you were sent to a labour camp.
Yeah.
Where was that?
In Germany.
In Germany.
Near Berlin.
Near Berlin.
Yes.
But after, eventually you were freed, and you actually met a British soldier, and you married him, and then came to England and raised 3 lovely sons, didn't you?
That's right.
But you never, ever saw your mum and dad again, did you? And you never, ever forgot your little brother Ferdinand. And you've been searching for him. Yes. In fact, you did get in touch with the Red Cross, didn't you?
That's right. I found him through Moscow.
Moscow. He is
Yes.
now living in Russia.
Yes.
And I know you were desperate to try and see him, but you dursn't go over to Russia because for fear you might be detained there.
That's
and
right.
you couldn't do that because, well, your sons were little at the time. You couldn't leave your husband. Well, 3 years ago is a long time. Jane wrote this letter. And I must tell you, Ina, we have cut through an awful lot of red tape. And we finally got a visa from the Russian authorities. Surprise, surprise, you are going to see your baby brother Ferdinand after 50 years. Come in, Ferdinand, with his daughter Anna, all the way from Russia. The more the world is changing, the more it stays the same. Life is full of small surprises. It's a never-ending game. If nothing is impossible, will you believe your eyes? If the unexpected brings a smile, that's a big surprise, surprise, surprise. The unexpected hits you between the eyes. The unpredictable, that's the surprise you see. Surprise, surprise. Well, everybody, that's all we have time for this week, and indeed this series. I'd like to say a big, big thank you to everyone who's taken part in the show, and in fact, all the team, and a very, very special thank you to our Bob Calgies and gorgeous Gordon Burns. I'll be back at Easter with a special live edition of Searchline, and surprise, surprise, of course, we'll be back next year. So until then, ta-ra then, ta-ra!
And as Cilla said, that's the last in the present series of Surprise, Surprise. Next Friday at 7:30 you can see International Athletics, featuring teams from Britain, the USA and the USSR.